Oh my mama.
Anyway,
Oh my.
this is working.
I look good. Touch my
Hi
skin.
everyone, we're live, and I don't know why this is not working. So
Hi. I
There's-
went.
Pay no attention to the guy behind the curtain. Whoops.
Hi,
there's
everybody.
there's an intro video supposed to be playing now that I will get. I promise you.
Okay. In the
Here
meantime,
we go.
yay! That was great.
We are the Church of the Larger Fellowship, the Unitarian Universalist congregation with no geographical boundaries. We believe in cultivating curiosity and transformation that is rooted in profound love.
For over 85 years, the ministries of the Church of the Larger
I can't
Fellowship
hear it.
have circled the globe and crossed the walls of prisons. We are a spiritual lifeline for our over 2,000 members in prison, who are also connected to individual Unitarian Universalists through our letter writing ministry.
In our online community, we offer weekly worship, classes, and groups. Our monthly magazine, Quest, supports the spiritual lives of thousands around the globe. We know better than anyone how deep and meaningful connections can be formed even from a distance.
We are proud to be a leader in this faith movement, and we invite you to get involved in our ministry. We strive to be a place where anyone from anywhere can find spiritual refuge anytime they need it. Welcome to the Church of the Larger Fellowship.
I wasn't even done with that, but that's okay. This is the
Hey,
voice of
it's
Unitarian
2026. It's 2026.
And I am now a vortex of technical nonsense that is happening around me. Things are breaking.
Awesome.
Things are not working correctly around me, and you all have to beware. Greetings and welcome to the Voices of Unitarian Universalism here in our 13th season from the Church of the Larger Fellowship.
Wow.
This weekly talk show discussing all sorts of nonsense happening in the world and how we lead our world towards liberation and stuff. Reverend Dr. Michael Tino, half of the lead ministry team of the Church of the Larger Fellowship, and I am coming to you from the land of the Kitchewan, Wappinger, and Lenape people, 35 miles north of New York City, also known as Peekskill, New York, on the Hudson River. And it is winter here, and I am still reeling from my late night encounter with the entire Peekskill Fire Department. The boiler in my house decided.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask for clarification.
Yeah, it was not a pleasant encounter with the Peekskill Fire Department, but it could have been way more unpleasant.
It was not the calendar shoot. No.
Nothing was actually on fire or in danger, which is good.
Thank heavens.
Smell
Yes.
gas in your house, as I did last night. You evacuate the house and call 911. And my little city sent 3 fire trucks, including the ladder truck, to my 1 block long street to check out my house. And nothing has recovered in my brain since. My boiler is now fixed. There is no gas leak in my house. The firefighters were lovely.
Yay.
Gave me a little lecture on the amount of recyclable cardboard I am currently storing in the basement. And I told them the reason it is there, and we're all good.
Oh, that's funny.
So how are you, Aisha?
Hi, I'm Aisha Hauser, the other half of the lead ministry team of the Church of the Larger Fellowship. I come to you from the land of the Coast Salish people. I don't know, 3,000 miles from where Michael is right now, also known as Seattle, Washington, on the Puget Sound. How am I? I saw frozen water at the Costco the other day, and I felt rage. I didn't feel fear. I yelled, "Fuck you." They were in their cars, and I saw.
4.
So no, listen. And I posted today on my Facebook page. If you're not already radicalized, follow Minneapolis Public Radio or Public News, and a 5-year-old They kidnapped a 5-year-old trying to get to his mother and sent him to Texas. So fuck this shit. That's me.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Dante.
Well, let's see. You know how we were all like, oh, we can't wait for 2026 so we can say bye to this bitch ass of a year 2020.
Careful what you wish for.
It's always dangerous. It is
The fruit did not fall off the tree because 2026 is tripping hard. Now, see, I've decided, given climate change, that I'm going to let 26 have January. She needs to get her fucking act together starting February the 1st. Because this is unsustainable.
We're just gonna like New Year.
I've seeded January. I've seeded it. My car has been at the hospital for a month.
Oh.
We are thankful you live in a city with robust mass transportation.
Yes. Yesterday it was 30. The high was 36, and that'll be the highest temperature we have for the next 7 days. We will be below well, we'll be below. We've been below freezing, but we'll be below zero most of next. A big swath of next week. I have a little dissertation thing I need to finish. And get to my committee. It's a lot. But I am here with some of my favorite people inside of one of my favorite communities. And so I will end with gratitude. DC, what's going on?
Oh, God bless us, everyone. Hi, everybody. I'm Reverend DC Fortune, he, him pronouns, and I am coming to you from Auburn, Maine, the unceded ancestral lands of the Androscoggin people, part of the Wabanaki Alliance of the Maliseet, Scott, Pemaquid, Micmac, and a number of other tribes here in Maine. And the antifreeze, the frozen water people are here, menacing the local immigrant population. And it is disturbing how many of our second and third generation immigrant Franco-American families are stepping aside and letting it happen. Yeah. Lewiston, Auburn, Maine in the early 1900s was the center of the Triple K organizing in Maine, in large part because of the French Canadian immigrants who were largely Catholic. And it has struggled with that legacy for a couple of generations. And now, the French Canadian Catholic population is large and dominant in this community, and seems to be welcoming the jackbooted thugs. It's just been really frustrating and scary and frightening, and I'm doing what I can, making
the
whistle.
Pope's not a fan. Tell those Catholics to follow their own Pope.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's from Chicago. You don't know nothing, right? I mean, Maine, New England, anybody not from, right? I know. But for real, it's just hard. It's just hard, and it's really hard to see. But like Dante, I will end with gratitude because I am here with some of my favorite people during the 1 hour a week where I am typically the least radical person in the room, which for me is a real stretch, and I totally enjoy it, and I always learn something cool. So here we are, and it's a Thursday, and it's damnably cold up here, just for the record.
Yeah, it is. Okay. One of the things that's happening here, like I was walking my dog, and I say hi to my neighbors. I try to learn people's names. And this one white woman's like, I'm really worried about what's going on in Minneapolis. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I just start community organizing. I say, get everybody's number on your block, have it in we need to right now be hyper local. If you are in a building, in condos, get the numbers of the people on your floor. If you are, wherever you are, find out who the people are. And let's right now put aside, like, if you think someone's definitely going to put you in danger, then don't get that person's number. Like, be strategic, but also, or maybe get their number and say, and maybe not have them on the organizing chat or the frozen water rapid response chat. But still get their number, because I do think we need to humanize each other and I think right now what Minneapolis and Minnesotans are teaching us. I lived in North Dakota for a year, maybe not that long, but I will tell you, I learned and understood how
I'm gonna have to freeze your ass off.
Listen. So Minnesotans love and care about community and about each other. And that is what this administration didn't count on. Like, it's not going the way they
thought. Tater tots, though. That's just
the hot dish. You don't like? I love tater tots.
They'll bring out hot dish. They'll bring out.
We cannot defame the holy and sacred tater tot. Like,
thank you, Dante.
We're not doing that.
Thank you.
I'm from Maine. Like, I know how tater tots are made.
Okay, but New Englanders, brought us blood sausage and blood.
Well, yeah, no, that ain't right. That ain't right either. No.
I'm sorry. So people who eat that can't talk to me about tater tots.
No, that ain't food. No, that's not. No, I'm sorry. Anyway, you're talking wonderful things about Minnesota, and I
our community, knowing your neighbors and protecting your neighbors.
Yes,
we have to be hyper local, because here's the thing: when we lean into doing what we can, then we start to feel better. In terms of what we need to do is don't give in to despair. Have a moment where you call somebody you love and say, have a venting, let it all out, and then turn to your neighbor and say, hey, what's your number? Hey, want to go for a walk around the block with me today? Do you want, whatever. And if you don't know your neighbors, say hello. Seriously. And I in Seattle, I'm literally saying to people, I could teach you how to make friends. Like, it's not hard for me to make friends because I'm Egyptian. I'm an extrovert with a capital E, and I literally will say hello to complete strangers and start a conversation. And I have appreciated living here that is not a thing people do in Seattle, but we have to fucking learn. Like, right now, we have to learn.
I rely on my child to do that for me. She
sure is. That's right.
She's gonna introduce herself. She's gonna. Do you have any kids? Yeah.
Tell me about your cats. Yeah.
But I also want to hold space around. Now, I am a deep introvert. I know most people, probably y'all don't even believe that. But I really, because what people forget is that whether you're introvert or extrovert is determined by, do groups of people give you energy or take energy from you?
Right.
And when I'm out and about, it exhausts me. It wears me thin. So I need a lot of alone time to, build myself up. But also, I understand the safety issues that are at play right now, but some of us have been dealing with these safety issues for generations. And we've built our networks of safety, and it haven't been with the motherfuckers who live next door.
Oof, say that.
Oh, what time is it?
No, she already nailed it. Aisha started out.
And again, so I'm not saying that that's a bad idea. What I'm saying, it's sort of like, oh Lord, I've had to say this about a person in my life. When a parent is absent in a child's life, and then when they're older in their 60s and 50s, and now they want to return and be parent, and that child has nothing for them. And I always say it's because you already taught them to live without you. So if you've taught me to not depend on you, it's a big ask.
But it's a necessary one right now.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, but I do think, but I want to say that I think we need to be clear who needs that too, because some communities have their networks, have their
Agreed.
mutual aid.
Agreed.
Like that's not new. That's not new. Black women were building orphanages and hospitals like in the 1900s with their own money.
And
So
it's important to know that we don't need to reinvent this,
yeah,
right? So if there's a mutual aid network in your neighborhood, give to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
become a part of aiding your neighbors. Figure out who you can help through the network and help them. It's not.
Don't do it for the kudos or the thank you either. Just
Can you read? Leilani had, and then I want you to put up the other quote again that they had. Leaning on those COVID practices and checking in on my neighbors, and grateful for the community making practices we've been doing hyper locally. Exactly what, to Dante's point, this has been happening. And also learn more than the pets' names when you're walking, because that's true. I always ask what the dog's name is first. So let's also ask what the human's name is first.
Can I also say this? And to my white brothers and sisters, but y'all have a tendency to think you're friends with people just because you know their name, and that's
I'm
not
guilty
true.
of that too. I'm sorry, Dante. I'm guilty of that too.
It's not true.
I know.
Like, we work together, but we're not friends.
No,
We might live in the same neighborhood. Doesn't mean we're friends.
right. No, that's true.
Well, and it's like you don't need to be friends with your neighbors to have their back.
right.
Well, that's the thing.
Right? Like, Minnesotans might pretend that they're friends with everyone because that's their culture.
I lived in Wisconsin.
They're
We
not.
all know this.
They're not.
They're not.
But they're still going to feed their neighbors, and they're still going to come out. And I love these pictures of these 70-year-old white dudes with big bushy beards in bathrobes with a camera in one hand and a whistle.
Right.
And it's
Praying that the belt stays tied. In a Minnesota morning. Yeah.
It's
somebody might be praying that it comes untied.
minus 14 degrees, and dude's outside filming what's going
Speaking
on.
of firefighters, sorry. I really
Dante. This is not that show.
I'm back.
We got to start another show, Dante. Listen,
totally
I
back.
also want to give a shout out to our colleagues and people across religious spectrum who are answering the call to go to Minnesota. I want to gently say, in so much love, be mindful of posting pictures, because not everybody wants to be online. I know it is there is a value of witness, but it's one thing to record the horror that's going on. It's another to take a selfie, and there might be people behind you that don't want to be on camera. So please be mindful and respectful that not everybody has a digital. My kids as teenagers told me to not post about them. I do not post about because they said I don't consent. So please be mindful of what you're posting, especially if you're not from Minneapolis and you're flying in to answer the call. Kudos to you. Prayers. My heart has been with Minnesota and this whole country, but please be careful what you post. And we also got to talk about the Canadian Prime Minister's speech in a minute, whenever, but I want to make sure we talk about that.
Well, I was also thinking, y'all, it's ministry search season.
Oh shit.
It's ministry search season. And
It is.
Now I think you all know this. All of our readers don't know. I think that as a faith, I think we have our own internal soap opera.
Oh my God! Yes.
You think?
I call it As the Chalice Burns. So if you hear anybody say it, it's me, because I've named our internal soap opera As the Chalice Burns, with two U's, right? D-U-R Burns. And so one of the latest things in our internal soap opera is Rebecca Savage is going to the national office.
That's right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right.
Congratulations, Rebecca, for this. Congratulations. But that's a big, isn't that, I mean, I know I'm the baby here, but that feels like a big thing.
No, it's a big thing.
as someone who serves on the Ministerial Fellowship Committee of our association, I'm super excited. Rebecca is not only a fabulous person and a well-respected leader and minister, but also the former chair of the MFC. And so to
Right.
step into that particular role as head of ministries and faith development is very exciting.
Very, yeah.
And it just for so many reasons, like just I'm aware of how much institutional knowledge she has about the ministerial formation process, which just the amount of depth that she brings to that position is just phenomenal.
So she starts her new job in April, and we'll get her on the show.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fun.
Well, congratulations, Rebecca. We're very happy for you.
I will reach out to her now to like book her in April.
Smart.
So y'all, are there things that you look forward to or expect during ministerial search season? Because this is the first year I'm really paying attention. This search season.
Well, as you mentioned, there's the dominoes, right? People go somewhere else, and then that opens up.
Well, it's
shift.
hermit crabs. It's the hermit crab shuffle.
I haven't heard that. That's hilarious.
Right. You know what hermit crabs do? Like when they're outgrowing a shell, they find another shell, right, and then they all line up so that everybody, right, and they all leapfrog into the next shell, and then we go through this all again next year with search. So can we talk? We might want to talk about the search process for those who aren't aware of the mechanics of the thing.
Oh goodness!
I mean, it feels. I know that when this is my first year at this congregation that I'm serving now, and this is a contract position, and it had been a minute since they'd been through the search process, and for those out in the vast number of Unitarian Universalists don't have the insider baseball understanding of this process, and it can feel very black box. It can feel very hidden, very opaque, and so ministers that are looking for a new position will create it's I refer to it as Match.com meets the NFL draft. Right, where everybody makes you make a little profile, like long walks on the beach and that kind of stuff, right? And the congregations that are looking for ministers make their own profile, and they say we're looking for somebody who's prophetic or a great preacher or wants to focus on religious education or whatever, right? And then the ministers get to look at the congregation's profiles. And if the ministers are interested, they'll click a button and their packet will be discreetly offered to that congregation. And then there's the whole mad shuffling of we like this person, we do. You figure out they interview and then they do all this stuff. And then finally there's an offer date, which is often the first something in April, right? Whether sometimes it's April 1st, sometimes it's the first Tuesday, sometimes it's the first, whatever it is. And that's when congregations can make offers to ministers to be their candidate for ministry, which Clarice Mason writes, I read something yesterday that the CLU was no longer going to be online or not exist.
Oh, Clarice, can we back
Please.
up? And so for many years, one of the ways in which people have engaged in community with the Church of the Larger Fellowship is through an email list server called CLFL.
Yeah.
And it has been increasingly marginal to the CLF as email ceased to be the primary way that we build community, as we are able to be online together and discuss things together, be in worship live and chat with one another live. And as we've moved live community building to something called our community network. But CLFL, this email listserv, has existed this whole time. Well, CLFL exists on a UUA server that no longer meets the recommended safety standards for email servers. There are recommended safety standards for email servers, and the server that runs all of these lists no longer meets those standards. So the UUA has to shut down the whole server. So all of the listservs that were on this server are all going away. Every single one of them is going away as of January 30th, I believe it is.
So what's going to happen?
They're all going away.
Well, people can join Community Network. We have our own.
So we want people to join us in the CLF Community Network, community.clfuu.org.
Mm-hmm.
And there's live conversation there, and there's not real-time conversation, but Community Network is a private social media site. So CLF pays the host of this site to maintain it, so that your data is private to CLF there.
We don't sell it.
We don't sell your identity or your data or anything like that. We don't sell anything. Like, you are not the product of the community network, so it is it's only ours. And so we've invited anyone who's on the CLFL to join that, and many people are joining it, but someone was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, CLF is not going to exist anymore."
Whoa. No.
I'm like, no. CLF has existed. CLF has existed in some form or another since the 19th century, well before email existed. We were the Unitarian Mail Ministry in the 19th century.
Oh, wow.
And then we became the Church of the Larger Fellowship in the 40s. And, incorporated as our own congregation, as a Unitarian Universalist congregation in 1970. Email didn't exist through that.
Right.
And we will exist. We existed before email, and we will exist after email. We shift the way that we do community based on the technology that exists, and this is just another way that we're moving. We've already moved. Like, we've shifted to the community network. We've been doing online worship for more than a decade now. It's just that some people preferred to interact with the community through an email list server, and it's just the email list server that's not going to exist. Quest, our monthly magazine, still exists. Our website we're about to roll out a brand new website, clfuu.org. It is gorgeous and easy to navigate and gets you to the places where you can engage.
Nice.
We're doing monthly conversations on our themes, which you can register for. Aisha is hosting those monthly conversations on abolition, different topics related to abolition that different people are hosting. And like, there's so much exciting stuff going on that, like, you can be on Zoom and actually have a conversation with people. You don't need to like be emailing people back and forth as our primary.
And I think right now at this time, being connected to, love that going old school. I love web bulletin boards and the way back internet days. Remember that? Web bulletin boards.
The community network is not unlike a web.
It's not.
Board.
It's true. That's true.
There are topic areas.
Very similar.
There are places to discuss the worship of the week. There are places for Spanish-speaking CLF members to discuss things in Spanish, or Christian or Buddhist or humanist or pagan you use to like have a theological conversation.
Clarice, thank you for bringing that up. We totally needed to have that conversation.
Yes.
And we'll go more in depth with the ministerial search process when Rebecca's on, and plus it'll be the timing where folks can actually, it'll be way before the process. But I think something that's super important, if you missed it, please look up Carney. Is his name James? The Prime Minister of Canada's last name is Carney. Mark Carney. I knew that. Prime Minister of Canada gave a speech in Davos, the Economic World Summit Forum, some combination of words, that basically I heard somebody called it the Emperor Has No Clothes speech. It basically has said we are no longer appeasing the United States. Not a direct quote, but it's a 16-minute speech that I implore every single person to listen to watch, to read, and because that is seismic in finally not giving in to the hegemony of the United States. Because you know what their line in the sand was finally? Not Palestine, not Congo, not Sudan, was Greenland, was taking a territory of Denmark. They said, no, fuckers, that's not happening. And they were telling Greenlanders to arm up. They were sending troops. Germany sent troops. So something got through to these ghouls who are running this country right now. But please go watch that, because it is finally, and I don't know anything about Carney. Obviously, I barely knew his first name. I don't know how he's running Canada, but I will tell you, finally, somebody said, enough. They're doing deals with China, and this is not insignificant. This is where we are 1 year into this fuck shit. We are now the American hegemony is over. And now, people are now looking to each other. And mind you, obviously, empires rise, they fall. That's what's happening here. But please watch it. And the thing is, and he named it, it benefited Canada it benefited so many people, so many countries to prop up this hegemony, and finally said, we need to work together to lean into a better world. It was extraordinary in that he did this in Davos at an economic summit. This is not truly, it cannot be overstated how seismic this speech was.
Aisha, so anyone who saw Aisha and I's live and low tech worship a few weeks ago knows that we spent a bulk of our conversation talking about this Canadian drama series called Heated Rivalry about closeted hockey players.
Right.
However,
we're getting into Heated Rivalry on The View because I've got issues.
Okay, but before we go there, so Aisha told me to watch it, and I was like, I don't want to watch this, but I did it, and then I told her to watch season 2, episode 6 of the series called Underground.
Please watch it.
Titled Minty, which is based on a speech that Harriet Tubman gave to fellow abolitionists. And I was just wondering, Aisha, what did that leave you with? Because I watch it. Me and my best friend watch it at least once a year.
Minty. So this the episode that Dante's referring to. I have not seen the series, so you're able to watch episode 6 without watching anything else.
And that's season 2, episode 6.
Yeah. In the series, she is talking to white abolitionists, Harriet Tubman, and she's recounting stories of her childhood. And the thing that hit me, when I tell you viscerally, as a child, she's in the house. She said, the mistress, I kept messing up, and she wasn't telling me how. And at one point, and I'm, it's not a direct quote, obviously, but at one point she's looking at a bowl of sugar cubes and she grabs one and runs. And she said that taste of sugar was freedom. And to the mistress, what the fuck does she care about a bowl of sugar? It was about control. But control is a fallacy. You cannot control people, because what you can do, what exists is oppression and violence, but not control. And she ran and ran, and literally she tells the story of tasting freedom, and that shaped the rest of her life. And that is a thing that we have to hold on. That's what I came away with, Dante, and thank you for that recommendation, because I've told several people right now to watch it.
Can you said again? You cannot control people.
There's only violence and oppression, but there's
Okay.
no controlling people. It's impossible. That's what they're trying to do. It's literally impossible. You cannot control another human being. You can only oppress them and commit violence against them, but you cannot control them.
And what I love about it is because she starts with this story about this was what she, as a child, what she thought was freedom. And then she keeps telling stories about her life and
That's
how she begins to realize that as a child, she thought stealing that sugar and being defiant was freedom.
That's right.
But then she realized that's not freedom either.
Mm-mm.
It was
She ran.
it was countercultural,
Right.
but it wasn't freedom.
Right.
All right.
Like stealing a little sugar and I stole it and got away with it, but you're still enslaved.
Right.
Like you're still on a plantation. That's not freedom, right? That's
Right.
defiance. And she ends the speech talking about John Brown and his work and saying, I believe in the work that I'm doing. I went and got my family. I tried to go get my husband, but he had found another woman and didn't want to come to freedom. And then she says, but I'm not convinced that what I'm doing is enough anymore either. She said, because you're going to have to give me liberty or she says, give me liberty or give me death. And she was like, because I'm determined to have one of them in this life. I'm going to get one of these.
Right.
And just playing around the edges and, where we're being defiant, but we may not necessarily being transformative. And that's why I love it, because just watch it. It's.
But in that yes to every single thing you're saying, and what kind of landed for me, having grown up in a high control religion as a child and a high control problematic marriage, I think what people can't take away is what is inside of us unless we give it.
Yeah.
And that's also like the defiance came from her desire to be free, and that they couldn't like the so I think right now what we're experiencing, and I also, can you please lift up the Inuit? That's true. The Inuit is it the Inuit that are in Greenland? I need to look that up. But Leilani's comment about the Kalaallit, apologies, Kalaallit, also known as Greenland's indigenous people, and they are speaking out about this. The indigenous folks, land of the people. Kalaallit Nunaat. But it is important that most of Greenland is indigenous, which is probably why the ghouls running this place thought nobody would care. The world cares for a lot. And mind you, the world doesn't care that it's indigenous people. The economic powers care that it's finally some line in the sand that they can actually respond to. But anyway, yeah.
He got it confused with Iceland yesterday.
He's not, listen, this is what's happening he's clearly in decline. Like let's look at him as the human. He's an elderly man in decline, and around him are people who are foaming at the mouth, rabid ghouls who are using him the way he used them, and it's gross. It's disgusting. Like it could be funny, but it's also like just ghoulish. The pursuit of power and domination that he just rambled for over an hour at Davos, and said Iceland instead of Greenland. He wasn't making any sense because he's an elderly man who's in decline, who's being used by ghouls.
It would be sad if it wasn't so frightening.
If it wasn't so frightening, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Well, and there's such an interesting history with Greenland. It's a colony of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Right.
So let's just be clear. it's an overseas colony of the Kingdom of Denmark. But there are treaties. The United States has a treaty with Denmark that recognized Denmark's sovereignty over Greenland. Right. Because Denmark, in return for the U.S. recognizing that, gave the United States the Virgin Islands,
That's right.
which used to be the Danish Virgin Islands, and a colony of the United States now. And in that treaty, spelled out that the U.S. has the right to military bases there. And we have one at Pitufik.
Right.
Which is like, like the thought that like there needed to be some invasion for us to have a military presence there is like just preying on people's ignorance.
Right.
Because what he's really after is once climate change has progressed to a point where the ice cap on Greenland is melted,
Right.
there are mineral resources under the ice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's the long game that he's playing.
I don't understand how that man can play a long game. He's not likely to live.
It's the ghouls around him. It's
Well, yeah, all right,
not
all right.
him. It's the
Sorry.
ghouls around. It's violent
Drink.
extractive capitalism. That is what is it? What's the thing with all the tentacles? Like it's the ghouls around him, and that's what we have to keep reminding ourselves. It is not him.
But I also, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I also think that it's not, it's the people around him and he's weird. But this, I just feel like we don't like to tell the sometimes really simple and basic ass truth. America was the number one bully on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And people decided I would rather be friends with the bully than get beat up by the bully.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're saying, oh, the bully's dumb. Oh, the bully's stupid. Oh, the bully ain't really got no... We can all whoop the bully's ass.
Uh-huh.
Now, the question is, are you just leaving one bully for another?
Hello.
Or you decided we don't want any more bullies? Because those are two different realities.
Yes.
Mm.
That's exactly right. Say that.
Amen. And, I think it remains to be seen if the European Union becomes the world's bully, right? Like, we don't know. Canada is unlikely to be the world. with love. An appreciation.
Yeah.
It's like Minnesota is not about to be the bully of the United States.
But they'll fight back in Minnesota, and so will they in Canada.
Yep.
Like, will the European Union become the world's bully? Time will tell.
Ooh, Leila,
Okay.
yeah. Patterns of domestic violence
Yes.
all over this, like a restraining order,
Yes.
a law or a treaty is
Mhm.
just a
That's
piece
right.
of paper.
Yeah.
Yes, because
That's
the United States broke every treaty we ever had with the indigenous people of this land.
Mhm.
Every
Every single
treaty.
one.
That's true.
We've never kept a single treaty.
And Reconstruction failed on purpose. Reconstruction, the betrayal of freed, enslaved Africans was immediate. There was a betrayal. Continued. So this, I mean, again, in service to violent extractive capitalism, and that's what has to die, folks, if we're going to not have bullies in the world. So that remains to be seen, but it is all exposed right now. It is like we are there. It's like, I don't know, like there is just this, there's no more hiding. And if folks are choosing to be an ostrich and put their head in the sand, good luck with that. There was a TikTok of a guy saying, if you go in your basement during a nuclear attack and stay there for 3 days, and the comment section, I was cracking up. You think I want to live, buddy? I'm going out to watch the mushroom count be done. I don't want to live through this. No one's Mad Maxing this. Everybody, like, bar none, was like, yeah, no, there'll be no wanting to live for 3 days in this hellscape.
We used to have those conversations in elementary school.
Remember?
It's a little like
The day after.
Like, I grew up in New York City, and
Y'all were toast.
they used to have us like duck and cover in the gym. It was the fallout shelter, the nuclear fallout shelter. And we were all like
We have pictures of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in our textbooks. The
Right.
gym is not going to help.
And, 40 years or 30 years after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the bombs were so much more powerful.
Right? Yeah, there'd be a crater where
We're going to be flattened in Brooklyn.
But let me tell you something about being a Midwesterner. We still had tornado drills. We were not having we were not having nuclear drills. We were having tornado drills.
Those were an actual threat.
right, yeah. That's true.
We were still way more concerned about a tornado coming and tearing the school apart than having than nuclear holocaust in the Midwest.
We had nuclear fallout drills in elementary school, and like even the elementary school students were like, "Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what is this going to do?" And the smart ass ones would ask the teachers.
You asked.
Yes. And the teachers would be like, "Listen, child, nothing. It is doing nothing. But we are required to have this drill. Can you be quiet for 10 minutes?"
Thank you.
There's your origin story, Michael. One of your origins, part of your origin story.
Okay. I'm like,
we heard about those drills in Maine, but we didn't have them. In part because we are under the fantasy that we are so far removed. But that was back during the day when Loring Air Force Base was the nearest target, aside from Alaska, right, for the Soviet Union.
right.
Right. And it's like they put it there because there were no people. Right. So that it would be a pain in the ass to try and infiltrate. You got to walk across miles of open field and the northern Maine equivalent of tumbleweeds. And what Michael said about the power of the weapons, the whole East Coast was just going to be obliterated, and somebody in Ohio is going to have oceanfront property that glows.
I mean, and the thing okay. Here, literally, humanity, we have so many great things. We truly do. And yet
we're so dumb.
What is it that we like? But here's then I think back to like Attila the Hun, and like throughout history, this idea of conquering, and Rome and the British Empire, now the American hegemony empire, How to Hide an Empire, which is a book because we don't call ourselves that, but we do now. And what is that about the human condition, that leaning into love and care? And maybe it is, I don't know. I don't know. Because it is capitalism now, but with Attila the Hun, what was it then? Like, I mean, I'm not.
It was conquest. It was greed.
But what is the,
greed.
Right. What is the need for greed and conquest in us?
Oh, I have a theory around this.
Go ahead. I love your theories.
It was supposed to be in my dissertation, but it's not. So part of my theory is that I don't like most of the words that we use in religious tradition around sort of spiritual transformation, salvation, transformation, survival. Like, all of those are good things, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they capture what we're really after. I think the word is fullness. That as humans, as energetic beings with bodies, we are driven, and I think everything that's alive is driven to experience itself in its fullness. So everything is seeking to operate at its full. Like, if something has kinetic energy, if you give it more room, it's going to expand the way that it moves because it wants to experience the fullness of itself. And I believe that humans too want to experience, like, how do I have the fullest experience as a human being? And I think that the quest for power and domination is a perversion or shadow side of the quest for fullness, because it becomes a quest for stuff. And it takes people a while to realize at some point you can have all the stuff in the world and you can still be empty. And so I don't want to get into some false dichotomy between, being pious and poor,
Right.
like that, not that. But I do think that everyone is trying to experience themselves at a higher. None of us believe that where we are now is where we should be. We believe that there's more. We can be more, do more, experience more. And some people seek that in a really shadow way. And what we would call the shadow side of that.
My friend says people use tragic strategies to fill unmet needs. And the tragic strategies of white people who voted for what we have now is belongings. They've been told the lie that they're on top, that this is a meritocracy. And if Black and brown people haven't made it, it's their own fault. There's no such thing as oppression. So the tragic strategy is the lie starts to get chipped away, and there's fear. And also it's my curiosity, Dante, in that theory, which I think that's compelling. Why aren't people leaning into love? Is it because that's more vulnerable? It's because it's what is it? You can make people fear you. You can't make them love you.
Anti-capitalist, because the capitalist bullshit, white supremacy system has taught us that stuff is what.
Well, here's the thing: when some people become bullies, love feels dangerous.
Oh.
When people make a decision to be bullies, love gets dangerous, right? Because
if I give of my heart, it means I peel it back and give it to you, and it can be hurt.
And you're gonna hurt it because you're a bully. Like,
well, anybody. Like when you love anybody. That is an act of vulnerability because you are allowing them to have a piece of you, and they may or may not treat it kindly.
Well, and I mean, yeah, I agree with that, but I also think they're the consequences of the bullies. So, Black folk in the U.S. have a interesting relationship with the concept of family, the Western notion of family, because part of family is I'm supposed to be able to love and protect you. But when we are all on these plantations we call, these prisons we call plantations, I can't protect myself, let alone my family. You could be murdered, killed, beaten in front of me, snatched away, sold. So what does that concept even mean? Right. In this context of oppression, where I can love you, but I can't protect you. I can't keep you from this harm because I can't even keep myself from it. All I can do is teach you how to endure it.
But we can love each other.
And that's still real for anyone who's doing survival work of any kind. It is like, I can't love you out of this harm, but I can teach you how to endure it. I can teach you how to reduce I can teach you harm reduction strategies.
Well, we could comfort each other too. I think that's the strategy of, navigating.
But I actually will do you harm if I don't teach you that this thing is here and it's real and it will get you.
Yeah.
So I think that it's hard to, but that's why in Black families, blood does not determine family. It never has in my whole life. There are people who are aunts and cousins. I know we're not related by a tree. I didn't even know what a half sibling was till I started living around white people. They kept talking about my half sister, my half. I was like, how the fuck are they half? Either that's your brother or sister, or it's not, because I was raised in a world where we talk about half relatives.
I love you.
And third cousins. I'm like,
cousins.
And that goes to property. That goes to property and value. That goes to
I like
property.
extractive
If you are a
capitalism.
full sibling, you are worth more to me than somebody who is half.
Violate
see,
extractive
but I
capitalism.
think there's another part of that, DC. It is you are either family or you're not. I'm not going to make you part. We didn't have a rubric for partial family.
Right. That's
You either were, and again, and it didn't mean we were related. It means you are a part of this community, or
Right.
you're not. We didn't have partial membership. We were not raised with a rubric of partial membership.
Right. And the white supremacist construct is all about individualism.
Yeah. So
and separation as opposed to collective strength.
All of my siblings are what Europeans call half siblings. I didn't have no rubric for that, and I don't know how to think about my siblings. These are my brothers and my sister. I don't. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't.
I tell people I'm an only child of 10, right? Because I had 9 siblings,
right?
But I only have I'm the only one with my particular set of parents.
So yeah,
I have 2 other siblings where I share a father, and 7 other siblings where I share a mother. But I'm the only one with my father and my mother. Yeah. Which in white language, where I grew up, means that I'm an only child.
And okay, did you feel like you weren't supposed to say that out loud as a kid?
I didn't find out about the 7 from my mother until I was much older. And my 2 from my father, the oldest was born when I was 16, and the other was born after I left the house.
Okay.
So I grew up as an only child because I was not connected with my birth mother or any of her other children.
Yeah, because I asked the question because I also learned a lot of the racialization of shame. Because there were just some things I was not raised to be ashamed of. And I remember in high school, my lab partner in chemistry, young white guy, and we were getting to know each other. He was really into Stephen King novels. And so one day we're talking, and he was like, I'm going to tell you a secret, but you can't tell anybody. So this is the 80s, like 86, 87. He was like, well, my parents own, I don't know if they must have owned franchises of Kmart.
Okay.
But it was like, but don't tell him. Like, that was a shame.
Wow.
That they own Kmart?
A shame. It was.
I mean, these days.
Right. Now, you don't have to shop at Kmart. Y'all just own it. But for him, but they never told it because Kmart was considered low, that's so low.
Low rent, right, yeah.
Yes. So, he was ashamed, it was a secret that he was telling me. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, they own a Kmart? This is your shame?
Odd. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I grew up, the shame would have been you fucked your sister.
Wow. Did not see that coming. That escalated quickly.
No, I mean, where I grew up, it was very rural. It was. Have you read The Beans of Egypt, Maine?
But let's also be clear that DC, you grew up in a very different class environment than the Kmart dude.
Right. True that.
Let's just be clear.
Yeah. Yeah. I had my high school had the highest per capita birth rate in the state of Maine because we were so rural, so poor, so disconnected from anything like health services. We had a girl drop out of 8th grade because she got pregnant.
Wow.
And she and her 2 older brothers were all 3 in the same grade because the 2 older brothers had been held back. So there was 3 of them in my 8th grade class. Yeah, I mean,
wow. That's sad.
Yeah, we came my high school class came in as 121 students, and 4 years later graduated 79. okay, in 1983. So
Yeah, that's
like
hard.
rural poverty is a different, it's
Yeah.
a similar brutality, but a different flavor
Right.
than urban poverty,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, kids in the country.
Kept poor on purpose, and I know it's at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
And it is 1:00, beloveds, and I'm sure that we could continue this conversation.
Aren't we
for
just a
another
bundle
hour.
of chipper happiness today, aren't we?
And I'm still, a little salty that you teased me with heated rivalry.
Okay, that's the next roundtable. Let's do heated
Not to
rivalry.
talk about my issues with a capital I.
Okay, next roundtable. Let's do heated rivalry.
Issues.
'Cause now I have to go find it and figure out what the fuss is
HBO
about.
I hate watched all 6 episodes just so that I can have this conversation.
Okay.
I can't even hate watch. No, I love this.
I'm currently
so next roundtable.
binging Warrior
We will
9.
have it online or offline or who knows what, but it is.
Let's do it.
It is 101.
All right.
So, and I think maybe
Thank you all for being.
actually get the freaking outcome.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for being for real.
Have a great week, everybody.
Fight fascism
warm.
wherever
Stay
you are.
warm.
Fight
Stay warm.
fascism
Avoid
and
frozen water.
Go with salt.
Thank you for joining us. Special thanks to everyone who gives generously to this ministry. It is because of you that this ministry is possible.
Visit clfuu.org/give to make a contribution.
We hope you will join us next week for another episode of the Voices of Unitarian Universalism.